Alright, live. I want to make sure everything's going live on Instagram. About to start here in a second. Just give me a. So I see it. And I hear it in the back end on Instagram. So that's good. So let's go live. So I can hear it, and I'll just start here in a second. I think we're good. I typed the chat, but I don't think it worked. What happened? Share this tab instead. No. Am I live? I don't see that I'm live. Hold on. I took off my screen share. Let's try this again. Share. Let's try this again. Things will happen. Oh, wait, hold on. Screen share. Oh, there we go. Add that back. Okay. Starting again. Sorry, I'm playing around with Instagram Live here. Alright, so it's live. So it's weird when I type something. Does the chat work? Oh, it works. Okay. Cool. Alright, so let's get going. Enough playing around here. Now let's come off of hide. Stop hiding here. It's about a week away from when I was out in Los Angeles. We're 3 minutes into this live stream, so setting up a Instagram Live. This is kind of a new feature here. We're a week past Summon the Greatness first time in LA, in Los Angeles, and I put together some notes and everything and just go over and a good little recap. I've been sharing all this within the last week as well, so nothing that's too new. I just wanted to put it all together in one stream, one video, one thing. So here we go. And if I take this full here, every time I go live, I seem to get something stuck in my throat. Here we go. So it opened up with the first speaker. As you know, anyone who attends, these speakers go unannounced. And let's get right to it. The first thing we heard from, and these are kind of out of order too, I'll just let you know too, but the first one we technically heard from was Rachel Platten, and then on the first day we also heard from Dr. Joe Dispenza, and key points that he talked about right here that's on the screen as well. Quantum world and mind-body interplay. Dispenza discusses how quantum mechanics can explain phenomena like through influencing matter, suggesting we can interact with our influence, the quantum field, through our consciousness. Neuroplasticity talked about in self-transformation. The brain can be revived through experienced thoughts and meditation practices. Energy centers. If you don't know anything that what he's doing, if you're not that familiar, and my phone is going crazy right now. Put this on do not disturb. I should have done that from the start. Do not disturb. There we go. And it should set the computers as well, so I shouldn't have any more phone disruptions. Shame on you, phone. Not really, but anyway, where was I? Meditation and visualization. It's key to have both of those things. Emotional regulation, learning to regulate emotions like love and gratitude, that can lead to a more coherent brain state. So, key thoughts from Dr. Joe Dispenza. Change is internal. Real change starts within, through the power of the mind to influence the body and reality. Science meets spirituality. Dispenza's approach attempts to bridge scientific understanding with spiritual practices, suggesting a holistic view of health and transformation. Personal responsibility emphasizes taking responsibility for one's thoughts and emotions to change life conditions. Quantum connection talks about the quantum, the neuroplasticity. Again, our ability to influence our lives isn't just psychological, but potentially reaches into quantum mechanics, suggesting we're part of a larger field of possibilities. And the last key that I have here, repetition for change. Let me make this bigger. Yeah. Like any habit, the practices require repetition. Reps. Critics might see redundancy in his material, but it's integral for reinforcing new neural pathways. Quotes I came up, and then we'll move on. The moment you decide to not act the same way, think the same thoughts, and make the same choices, it's going to feel uncomfortable. 2, can you accept the notion that once you change your internal state, you don't need the external world to provide you with the reason to feel joy, gratitude, and appreciation, or any other elevated emotion? And last, each time you make a choice that is in alignment with your future, you are priming your brain to install the neurological hardware to think, feel, and act like the person you want to be. So, Dr. Joe Dispenza. Moving on, as I said, they're going to be out of order here. Zoom in on Dr. David Goggins. Start out with the quote here. And this one, I didn't realize. I've been saying a few comments, saying a few posts about this as well. But, like, after a few days of coming back home and being at the event, and 3 days after, I was realizing a lot what was said by David Goggins was actually stuff that I was living in real time. How being misunderstood. You will be misunderstood. You're in a very good place when that happens. You live for that 30 seconds. I put in, these are quotes, I put in 20 years of time for 30 seconds of dopamine that no one can ever relive. And the last one, I'm not crazy, I'm just not you. And the reason why I feel so connected to this is because I get that a lot from people. Like, I'm asking, like, Tommy never sleeps. Tommy has all this energy all the time. Well, he's crazy. I think once or twice someone said, you're crazy or something like that. Maybe not to that extent, but it was something similar to that, like you're crazy, like you're doing all this stuff. Key points: visualize, dream, visualize your goals in detail to prepare mentally for the journey ahead. Action over paralysis. Do not think. Do more and think less. Dealing with self-doubt and suffering. Embrace discomfort and pain as part of growth. Handling criticism. Going through this kind of fast. Handling criticism. Expect misunderstanding from others when pursuing big dreams. Your path might seem crazy to those not willing to leave their comfort zones. Identity and purpose. Dive deep into what you want to be and align your actions towards becoming that person. Next up, team dynamics and leadership. Admit and learn from your mistakes only openly to foster trust and growth. Two more: balancing energies. Integrate masculine energy, action, discipline, and feminine attraction, intuition energies for a balanced approach to life. Inner dialogue. Cultivate the voice of reason over comfort. You need almost that second voice. The brain, the voice inside your brain, your thoughts are that's their responsibility to keep you safe. And they think for every right reasons, like you're doing what the rest of society is doing. You're doing the safe way. You're being safe. You're staying safe. But it's not until you develop that second voice that kind of combats that nice voice to overrule, to be louder than the other voice said. No, I want to do this. I need to do this. People need me to do this. And then until you develop that second voice, the other voice, the thoughts that you hear all the time that says, don't do it, don't do this, don't do that. You're that thought's telling you you're crazy for wanting to go outside the norm. Until you develop that second voice that says no, you almost kind of like has to yell. You have to yell at that other voice. The second voice has to yell and be loud. Otherwise, it won't be heard. Until then, until you develop that second inner dialogue, things won't change. So there's actionable steps I have here, and I can send this to whoever wants it. Comments type Summit of Greatness down in the comments if you want me to send you these, and I will as well. These are my notes from last week. Actionable steps. I'm not crazy. I'm just not you. David Goggins. Visualize. Action steps. Visualize. Start now. Challenge yourself daily. Reflect on criticism. Set clear goals. Lead by example. Balance life. Develop your inner voice. And that's David Goggins. Moving on. Next up, Rachel Platten, who was performing on the keyboard. Anyone here talking with just want to interact and everything? Alright, just want to make sure before I move on here to Rachel Platten, who, again, as I mentioned, performed on the piano with her daughter, nonetheless, on stage. So let's see, make sure you're seeing what I'm seeing here. Summaries from Rachel Platten, featured performer. Key message about resilience and self-belief through her music, her song. If you know, she created Fight Song. If you're familiar with that, it's a big hit that made multiple what do you call it in the music industry? Whatever. It did good things then. So she has that, and she's going creating her own independent stuff too now. Her independent content, and her key message that she said to us this last weekend. That not it's 2 weekends ago now, not last weekend, but the weekend before this last. Resilience and self-belief. Platin's message probably revolved. It says, I say probably, but revolved around turning personal struggles into sources of strength, as reflected in Fight Song. Her narrative would encourage attendees to find their own fight song in life, urging them to overcome personal and professional adversities. Inspiration through music as a tool for empowerment and change, using her own career path as an example of how art can influence and uplift. Please check your strong friends on your successful friends. Please check on your strong friends. Check on your successful friends. This is how it's supposed to be. Yeah. All of us need to be supported and loved. Action steps. Oh, hey, these are out of order too. Key insights, takeaways, the power of positivity. Platin's career highlight fight song underscores the power of positive message, suggesting that positive can be a catalyst for personal and communal upliftment. Personal stories as motivators, sharing personal challenges and how they were overcome can be a profound source of inspiration for others, fostering a culture of openness and mutual support. Music and art as universal connectors, they transcend barriers, making them ideal for spreading messages of hope and resilience, which might have been a focal point of her address. So there's Rachel Platten. Moving on. I want to keep going here. Key takeaways. I'm just going to touch key takeaways and action steps. Action, you can if you want me to send you can look over those action steps, but I'm just going to move on to Codie Sanchez here. Next one, and she really spoke the truth. She came out with the truth. You will get lied to, cheated, defrauded, tricked, sued, and you'll make plenty of mistakes too. Key points that heard from Codie Sanchez: action over ideas, the emphasis, and who does that sound like? David Goggins said that too. The emphasis was on executing ideas quickly. Moving fast allows you to learn from mistakes and pivot before competitors catch up, positioning yourself as a pioneer. Lack of action. Codie pointed out that often it's not the competition in the market, but one's inaction that poses the biggest threat to success. Serve to succeed, aligning personal goals and serving others was portrayed as a strategy, not just for success, but for fulfillment. This echoes broader sentiment where success isn't just financial, but tried to impact. Team empowerment through financial literacy, action, community focus. It's about redefining success, not just in wealth, but in impact, resilience, community contribution. If you don't understand debt, you'll never be truly wealthy. And then some actionable steps from Codie Sanchez. Thank you, John. This is coming from LinkedIn. Did you get, if you're still listening on LinkedIn, did you get a chance to look at my Instagram live, see if it's working? I think it is working now. But did you get a chance to check Instagram, see if I'm live on Instagram? Last I checked, it didn't seem like it was working, but there's Instagram again. I don't see that I'm showing up live, so I don't know. that it's still it shows live here in the back end. I don't know. Received, and it still shows that I'm live here. It's weird, but I'm not. Here, quick pause, just to double check on Instagram why I'm not showing up. I don't know. It shows live on Instagram, so I don't know. Anyway, Cody Sanchez actionable steps. Engage in local entrepreneurship. Start, support, and invest in local businesses. This not only fosters community resilience, but also builds economic independence. Seek ownership. Always aim for positions or opportunities where you gain equity or significant ownership stakes, emphasizing control over your economic life. And educate and inspire. Share knowledge about economic empowerment, encouraging others towards financial literacy and entrepreneurship. So there's Cody Sanchez, and move on to, this is the big one that really hit me the most. Rory Vaden. I've heard him multiple times in the past from events that Lewis, the host of Summon of Greatness, School of Greatness, has done. I've heard a lot of what Rory had said, so a lot of this is really familiar to me. But his big thing, what problem do you solve in one word? And he gave some examples. Some bullet points and key messages. Identify your problem. The most crucial step in building a successful personal brand is identifying the specific problem you solve, and you should be able to articulate in one word, maybe two a word phrase. As you'll see here, Brene Brown, shame. Dave Ramsey, debt, solves the debt problem. Tony Robbins solves the pain problem. Lewis Howes solves the self-doubt problem. Mother Teresa, poverty. Martin Luther King Jr., inequality. Takeaways: find your uniqueness. Your unique ability to connect with your audience comes from your personal experience with the problem. Focus. Like Lewis Howes, sometimes focusing on one thing can lead to exponential growth. Let's see back here if I. Oh, people are joining. I'm just not seeing it on my feed. So if you're joining and watching, thank you for on Instagram for sure. Thank you. Even starting over, even after setbacks or starting from zero, clearly defining your problem can rebuild your brand quickly. Free offerings, offering free calls, consultations can be a powerful way to kickstart your brand, especially when you're starting new. Consistency and repetition. Dave Ramsey's success is partly due to consistently hammering the same message about debt. Emotional connection, solving problems that are emotionally charged, like shame, debt, inequality, can deeply resonate with people. And brand simplification. The simpler your message, the broader your appeal. Simplify to amplify. And then this is where it really hits home. He does another thing where he started out where he was talking about, and thank you, John, too. I see it's working. It didn't look like it was working on me, on my end. But I see people chatting. So it looks like it is working. He was one of the biggest things people struggle with. And it's leaving my mind. And is it coming back? When we procrastinate. One word that he did solve maybe a couple years ago, procrastination. So that's what he started with. And he has the whole thing. He wrote a book called Take the Stairs, and he showed a picture on one of his other talks and it was a fitness center with stairs and an escalator out front. And the book was called Take the Stairs. So anyway, his big quote, "You are the most powerfully positioned to serve the person you once were." So I take that when you were 10 years old, what thing that you were looking for, that you needed, that you really could have supported you at 10 years old, what is that wasn't around at the time that could really have helped you? And do that. Create that. Actionable steps. I want to go over these and then move on quickly here. Self-reflection. Think deeply about the struggles you're personally overcome, passionate about, helping others with. One-word clarity. Reduce the problem statement to one word that simplifies your message and makes it memorable. See if I can bring up mine as I'm going over this here in my notes that I typed up. And I'll go over my one word, 2 word. I think it's 2 words that I finally came up with. Where'd I put that? It was actually very good. Where'd I put that? The tech demystifier. Demystifying tech is something that I came up with for myself. Other notables: tech wellness expert, problem solver, digital life coach. But I don't feel like a life coach. So I don't know. If you have thoughts, I'd be happy to hear what those thoughts are too. One word clarity. Become an ambassador for that problem. Sell the problem. Celebrate the problem. Promote, celebrate, raise awareness about the problem by owning the problem. You naturally become the go-to for solutions. I'll tell you one time a story back in college, and I did it again pretty recently too. I took ownership over the TV studio in college. After a certain time, people just came up to me as the go-to about the TV studio. Not the engineer who put everything together. They came to me because I knew everything there is to know about the TV studio. So I became the go-to over the TV studio. Service strategy. Design your products, services, content around solving the specific problem. Community building. Create or join communities around this problem to amplify your reach and authority. Personal story integration. Share your personal journey related to this problem. This adds authenticity and relatability. See if adds authenticity, and then monetization, last one from there, and we can move on. Understand that people pay for solutions to problems, not just for luxuries. Tailor your offerings accordingly. So there you go, Roy Vaden. That really hit me. Again, you are the most powerfully positioned to serve the person you once were. Esther Perel, she's very popular, actually. A lot of people know her on she's the relationship coach, the relationship therapist. And Lewis had a bit of a therapy session with this where he actually opened up. I don't have that stuff in my notes, but it was interesting. Like, there's a therapy session going on in this session. But Esther Perel, some key message: life's challenges teach us every hardship is an opportunity for learning and strengthening personal relationships and self-worth. Relationships are about growth. Both personal and relational growth occur through understanding and navigating conflicts effectively. Community is essential. Recognizing the utilizing community support can be life-saving and enriching. Self-love is fundamental. Loving oneself deeply allows for healthier, more authentic relationships with others. Changing how we view our life stories can shift our self-perception from victim to empowered individual. So there's Esther Perel in a nutshell, her live on stage interview with Lewis, therapy session, if you will. In-Q, poet that another performer that was on stage, poet. Big thing that he comes up with quote that I have here. Force initiates to take its space. Power invites. So this is like power, poet and rhyming and everything. So we're about 30 minutes live into this. Everyone wants a revolution, but no one wants to give up their Wi-Fi. So key takeaways here that I have really quickly on In-Q. His real name is Adam something, if I'm not mistaken. Throw up in the chat if you know. Embrace vulnerability. It's okay to not have all the answers or to feel out of place. It's okay to say I don't know. Reconnect with essence beyond accomplishments. There's a core essence that should guide actions and identity. Choose power over force. Life should be driven by inner power, not external force or validation. Human connection is divine, and every interaction can be a form of worship or connection with the divine. And there's some actionable steps. So again, if you want, drop in the comments and I'll send these to you. It's a link just out of Canva. I'm not going to go over everything here to save time. Now we're at the workshops. First one was Story Builders. Bill Blankshain. Through Story Builders, they emphasize transformative power through storytelling, personal and professional life. His approach revolves around helping individuals and organizations craft narratives that not only resonate with authenticity, but also serve as a foundation for building personal brands, enhancing influence, and creating income through various intellectual property avenues, like books, courses, and workshops. And actionable steps. Here on the workshops, I'm going to summary and action steps. Identify your unique story. What you should be doing now. True greatness begins when you live your own story. So identify your unique story. Start by articulating what makes your story unique. What challenges have you overcome? What lessons have you learned? Craft your narrative. Develop a clear, engaging story that encapsulates your message. Focus on your journey can benefit, inspire, teach others. Build a brand around your story. Use your narrative to define your brand. Ensure all communication reflects your story for consistency and recognition. Monetize creatively, not just in the book, but think of creating an ecosystem around your story. This might include workshops, speaking engagements, online courses, merchandise, whatever else. A lot of things out there. Engage and share. Utilize platforms like social media, podcasts, or public speaking to share parts of your story. Engage with your audience to build a community around your narrative. Seek feedback and refine. We should be giving and receiving feedback at will. We're so deathly afraid of receiving feedback, critical feedback, more than anything else. And it's how we learn, it's how we grow. And you should be open, you should be receiving with open arms feedback. Continuously gather feedback to refine your storytelling skills, ensuring your message remains impactful and relevant. Lead with your story. If in a leadership position, use your story to set the vision, motivate, and align your team or organization towards shared goals, and collaborate. Consider collaborations or mentorships where storytelling can be exchanged or enhanced. Learning from others in the process. And I have one more workshop. Thanks for sticking with me in this 35 minutes. I have one more workshop to wrap up. Weekend of Summit of Greatness 2024, Los Angeles, at the Shrine Auditorium. I didn't mention that before. It was at the beginning, but it was at the Shrine Auditorium. Shrine Auditorium on or near I don't know if it's exactly on, but it was definitely near. I think on campus of USC, but at the Shrine Auditorium. And moving just to this last workshop. This is Rory's team, Rory Vaden team and brand builders. So let's take this on and zoom in. So again, we heard from Roy the day before on Saturday 9/13. Your personal brand is the combination of your skills, the values you present, and the impression you leave on others. Anything you say or do in front of an audience becomes a part of your brand and what you stand for. And here, key message, build your brand by serving others. Focus on providing value and solving problems effectively and visibly. Use digital tools and content strategies to reach and engage your audience, leading them through a journey from awareness to sales, all while maintaining authenticity, and community engagement. Actionable steps. Take one sip and then I'll get right into. Yeah, I'm reading these, so reading right from my notes here. Define your brand. One word problem. Clearly define what problem you solve in one word. Audience and solution. Describe your target audience and how you solve their problem in one sentence each. Business model. Articulate your primary method of earning revenue. Content creation. The content diamond, they call it. Create one main asset. Answer one weekly question, creating a video or podcast episode. Repurpose, turn this into a blog post and social media clips and podcast episodes. I like to say episodes. Distribute, share across all platforms, always directing back to your blog for more in-depth content. So your blog is your main real estate. Where you own the audience is what they're. So engage with the audience. Use direct messages and personalized messages, or use QR codes to engage directly with potential followers or customers, clients. Schedule calls, offer free calls to discuss solutions or brand building. Turning engagement into personal connections. Leverage digital funnels, set up webinar funnels, create registration pages leading to webinars that then to offers then or sales calls. Analyze conversion rates. Track where you lose or gain conversions to refine your funnel from webinar to sales. Invest in advertising wisely. Track ROI. Understand how much you're spending versus earning from each ad campaign to optimize your marketing budget. And continuous improvement. Again, feedback. Feedback loop. Regularly seek feedback. Most important thing you can ever do. Regularly accept, hear, receive feedback from your community and adapt. Positive or negative comments, feedback. And adapt your strategies based on what resonates. This is my fourth Summit of Greatness that I attended, the last three starting in 2019. and some people I had connected to. If you're on here and watching, thanks for connecting with me. If your name is on this list, my first one was in 2019 and 2022, and then I just finished my third straight and preparing to be my fourth straight next year in 2025 in Hollywood at the Dolby Theater next year. And apparently it's almost sold out already in like a week or two. It's taken a week and it's like all half sold out already. So there's Summon of Greatness 2024 recap a week later. Was it a week later? A week later. 10 days. About 10 days. 10 days. And Canvas says it right. Thanks for viewing. And stay tuned for... Let me know some things you want to hear from me on tech. And as I say, I'm here as the tech demystifier. Solving problems with tech. Let me know what you want to hear from me, and comment and send me a note, private message, DM, whatever. Send me a note, and I'll get back to you. And I want to base on that feedback with what you guys want to hear. Till then, talk later, and see you around later. Bye.